Tonight, the worlds of entertainment and basketball collide here in Los Angeles, and the one and only Ice Cube will be the master of ceremonies as season 2 of the Big 3 gets underway. He'll be joined by Steven Jackson, the current co-captain of the Killer Threes, as well as a draft pool of 91 players. Yes, 91 guys vying to join a roster in this exclusive star-studded league. They say, all good things come in threes. Well, Commissioner Clyde Drexler is ready to prove it. It's the Big 3 draft live on FS1.
Big 3. Yeah. Big 3, come on. Yeah. 3. Now that's a magic number. Got the homies balling out for the whole damn summer in that 4-point circle with that ghost ball of purple. If you check the roster, got a 3-head monster. Now them killer threes are like killer bees. Start dropping threes like trilogies, like companies, like PIGs. Got the summer on lock. Big 3 on Fox.
You're looking live at Fox Sports Studios here in Los Angeles, the proud home of the 2018 Big 3 League, as team executives make their final preparations. You see them there getting ready, and the players trying to relax in the green room, hoping to hear their names called. Stars from every era are rubbing elbows in there. It is a basketball fan's dream come true. Welcome, everybody, to the Big 3 draft. I'm Carissa Thompson. It is a pleasure to be with the man who made this thing possible. Actor, rapper, and the co-founder, co-CEO of the Big 3, a man that really doesn't need much introduction, Ice Cube, plus former NBA All-Star and captain of the 2017 Big 3 champions trilogy, Kenyon Martin. You guys, you ready for this? First of all, you look sharp. Let's just start with that.
I'm excited.
Look at your boy, Kenyon. Look at your boy.
That's a good look for him.
I'm excited. I clean up pretty good.
You do. Look at this. We're here.
We here, man. This is a dream come true. I'm living a dream right now. Big 3, our second season, professional 3-on-3 basketball, doing it big on FS1. What more could you want?
I was going to say, I can do all the introductions, that kind of stuff. This was a dream of yours. It's come to fruition, and we are here, and it's bigger and better than ever. We were at the Combine yesterday. These players, the competition's higher. We got a big list of cities where you guys will be all year long, so there's a lot of reasons to be excited. Now, for those of you at home who are tuning in to the Big 3 for the first time, can you, and Cube collectively, why don't you guys give the people at home a little history lesson on what this thing is all about?
Oh, the Big 3 is professional 3-on-3 basketball. Something we all grew up playing. It's actually the most form played of team basketball in the world. You can get a 3-on-3 game anywhere, playground, play yard, backyard.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. So why hasn't it been elevated to the pro level? And we've seen a lot of tournaments in the parking lots of the stadiums, but now we in the arenas, and we got big-time players, former NBA players, guys going against their peers, going after it. It's basketball at its best.
Yeah, it is, man. It's high competitive professional basketball. Like Cube said, it took a long time for people to realize that this should be a form of professional basketball. There's less strain on guys' body, but it's still competitive at the same time. So we're having fun doing it.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned this is the second year. It's incredible the success it's had in just a short amount of time. You guys have made a few tweaks, so I want you to explain a little bit about this concept of co-captains.
Oh, co-captains. The teams are not ran by GMs, so guys can pick who they want to play with. So player captains, they were able to pick one guy they wanted to play with, which was called co-captain. Everybody else they had to draft. This year, we allowed them to have 2 co-captains, so they were able to handpick one other guy. But all the other 3 guys have to be drafted. So it's a way for guys to control. This is a players' league. I didn't want GMs telling guys who they had to play with. It's time for players to pick who they want to play with.
That's the best way. Yeah, that's the best way, man. Guys have to play with guys, so they should be able to pick them. You should be able to pick the guys that you want on your team, and if you pick the wrong guys, then it's on you. You can't blame anyone else.
I was going to say, if you want to go back to the inception of this whole thing and, getting runs and out on the courts outside, it's
Playground
like
style.
I pick you, separate. So you kind of taking that concept and just refining a little bit. It's incredible. And as you can tell, the Big 3 is not your grandpa's basketball league. You just heard them talk about it. From mic'd up players to 4-point shots, they like to add a little spice to the mix, and the draft is, well, it's no different. So for a little prep on the rules of the draft, let's hear from Cube's version of Little Penny.
Let's take a look at the rules for the 2018 Big 3 draft. This season, the Big Three has increased the roster size from 5 players to 6. Each team is allowed to keep a captain and 2 co-captains, with most teams adding some big-name talent to their roster. The champions of the Big Three must keep their entire team together. The undefeated trilogy added Dante Jones to their roster to fill the 6th spot, but they won't have any draft picks this year. Big Three runner-ups, Three-Headed Monsters, had 2 options. Send 1 draft player back to the draft pool or send all their draft players back to the pool. They chose to send 1 player back, so they will have 1 draft pick in the 2nd round. The rest of the teams must send all their players back to the draft pool and pick 3 players from the new draft pool. The draft order was unveiled on Undisputed last week with the Ball Hogs picking first. So now, on with the show.
Can we just point out that that cartoon is exactly what you're wearing right now? It's pretty good.
I shot that earlier today.
So Ball Hogs will kick things off, and other than a single pick by the Three-Headed Monsters in round 2, here's the order we'll be following throughout the night as they look to fill out their rosters tonight. The coaches and captains are doing their homework, of course, even Trilogy, the 2017 champions. They may not be drafting tonight, but they want to get a look at the competition they'll be facing to defend their title. So, Cube, every good draft needs a draft expert. You study the tapes. We attended the Combine yesterday. You know what each one of these teams needs. Who, in your opinion, after looking at these guys yesterday and kind of knowing a little bit about the team's wants and needs, is worthy of that #1 overall pick?
There's a lot of guys worthy. You know, guys look great yesterday. But I'm looking at Andre Owens and Xavier Silas. Terrence Williams looks great. Jason Maxwell, Chris Anderson. It's a few people that I think look real good and could go #1.
Yeah, can you put that analyst hat on? Who do you think?
I agree with Cube. I think Andre Owens proved his worth last year, as well as Xavier Silas. But if I was the Ball Hogs, I would go back to what guy that played well for us in Derek Byers. He played extremely well for them last year. I think he's well deserving of that, the #1 slot for them.
Okay. If you're a fan of the Big Three, this next guy needs no introduction. We have the censor button on hand. Michael Rappaport will be bringing you the inside scoop from players and coaches tonight and all season long. He is entertaining in every sense of the word, and he's standing by right now with Ball Hogs head coach Rick Barry and player captain Brian Scalabrine.
Hi, I am here with NBA champion, NBA Hall of Famer Rick Barry and Brian Scalabrine. Guys,
wow, well
you guys have the first pick going into the draft. How much pressure do you feel to get the right pick going into this season 2?
Pressure only exists if you don't have confidence in your abilities. So we have confidence that we're making a good pick.
Okay, and Rick, how much sleep have you lost knowing that your think tank has been run by the White Mamba?
Fortunately, I have no problem sleeping, but if I had a problem, I probably would have been up all night.
Mamba?
I don't know what to say about that, Mike.
Mamba, the people want you to grow that red fro out for this season 2. How do you feel about that?
Like very much Jackie Moonish type of fro with the headband?
But with a pumpkin tinge to it. Would you do that for the people?
Sure, but we all want to know, how do you live in L.A. and you're so pasty white? At least I have an excuse. I live in Boston. How are you still this white and you live in L.A. where it's sunny every single day?
Carissa, things have gone off the rail already. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm walking off the set. Here we go.
And I'm going to help you out with this Rappaport. Guys at home, SPF is important, okay? Rappaport takes care of his skin, he hydrates. I need to get a split screen of those two. You guys have a resemblance. So when Scal starts throwing insults, they actually...
Long-lost cousins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of split screen, we have a very advanced graphics program around here. Look at this split screen.
Where's my hat, man?
Look at that. Please tell me you didn't actually plan that. It just worked out that way.
Worked out that way.
That's my lucky tie.
It's a presidential look.
Some of the biggest names in basketball are in this room. We will be talking with them throughout the night. There's the man, Dr. J himself. The players had their final auditions yesterday at the League Combine in Santa Monica. Whose hard work will pay off? Well, we're about to find out when the 2018 Big 3 draft returns right here. Where, Cube?
Right here on FS1, baby.
That's right.
And welcome to Brooklyn as we debut the Big 3. Power can win it right here. Stevenson! Yes! 4-pointer for Bibby. Two legends have returned to Philadelphia. Oh! And Oakley just leveled. Big three lands in the bright lights of Hollywood.
I'm gonna go check myself in a minute. I want to see this.
Are you nervous? Am I nervous? You think I look like I'm nervous? Man, I'm the man. Rejected again by Kenyon Martin.
We're better than them.
Play the damn game.
Everyone trying to rush me. Can't rush greatness.
White for the win. 9-0 trilogy.
Welcome to the Big 3 championship game.
Game plan is to win.
Got it. Big time jumper. Inside Brown again with an easy flush. Trilogy responds to take a 1-point lead heading into halftime.
We play like that hand. We still up.
Strip back to Lewis. And we're tied at 46. 16-footer for the win. And it's over. Trilogy runs the table.
This league, ladies and gentlemen, here to stay.
Hey now, everyone loves Friday. And on Friday, June 22nd, Kenyon Martin and Trilogy will begin their Big 3 title defense in Houston. Fox Sports will bring you coverage of all the action live, not just that night, but every Friday throughout the season. Welcome back, everybody. Plenty of special guests on tap tonight. Right now, we would like to welcome Kenyon's teammate, the co-captain of Trilogy. We've got Rashad McCants in the building, and you're wearing that heavy as the head that wears the crown. You're still rocking it. We saw you rocking it yesterday at the Combine. How you feel about there you are, of course, in the UNC jersey right there. How you feeling about your chances to repeat?
Well, the chances to repeat, man, I think it speaks for itself. We got our same team back. We're really not worried about any of these draft picks or any of these teams picking these new players, man. We here to attack, and the crown is here for a reason. The trophy's next to Kenyon for a reason, and these guys should be jealous. I hope they are.
Of the crown or your position?
Both, because they can't get both. They can't get neither one of them.
So disrespectful.
Yeah, hey, man, it's part of it, man. It's encouraged, but we played well last year, but these guys, they know what we brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're here, for these guys to go out and better the teams. So I think they're going to do that.
You know, we're all out here because you guys love competition, right? So when you look at these other teams, who gives you sort of the best competition right now when you look at it?
If I had to pick someone right now, I like the moves that Tri-State made. Add Amari, add Nate, along with Jermaine. I think those guys know how to play. They're veterans. So I think right now with the moves that they made so far, but we'll see how the draft goes. But you can mess that up.
Who do you think gives them the best chance here?
Oh, definitely Tri-State, but three-headed monsters, you know, they were right there in the championship. Basketball, this way or that way, you never know. So I think, you know, they're coming back with pretty much their same team. They add another piece, and they'll be right there.
You know, Rashad, you were the #1 overall pick in last year's draft. You obviously won it all. Who in this year's draft pool do you think has the best chance to make a similar impact?
Oh, there's a couple guys that I got a lot of respect for. David Hawkins is one. Come from a similar background, underdog type of guy. But then also a guy like Andre Emmett, who is the same similar situation. Underdog guys, just major talents.
Hometown.
Yeah, and but then there's guys like Andre Owens. You know, guys who still are trying to prove that they belong in the #1 slot. So when you got guys like him and Marcus Banks, it's a lot out there that they got a lot to prove. But stepping in that #1 spot and doing what we did, that's the challenge.
When you take a look back last year at Kenyon, what's the biggest learn that you can walk away with from the inaugural season for you?
No, for us, just I think health. I think health played a huge factor in our season. I got hurt a little bit, but the rest of the guys stayed healthy. You know, I think if we stay healthy, you're able to put things together week to week. You know what I'm saying? You're able to work on some things. I think that was the huge part of our success. You know what I'm saying? Us being available every week. You know I'm saying? Not having guys in and out of the lineup definitely helped us.
I grew up in Seattle. So, Jordy, if you want to grab a shot of Gary, he's busy talking over here, per usual. GP.
Of course.
I grew up watching Gary Payton, so I love trash talking. And because you guys were mic'd up during the games, it's almost like the viewers at home have a front row seat. Anyone who watched last season knows that Kenyon over there was one of the league's MVP when it came to trash talking. Take a listen.
Make them Go to the basket, man. Bring your wallet, put your money where your mouth is. Open, make shit easier. Make them foul the ball time. You ain't in no shape to come out here and run around. It don't matter though. You suck. I'm in better shape than you.
Dallas is on, dunks it home.
You ain't doing number fouls. Well, I'm here. That's why you've been inactive, because all you do is hack. One-on-one, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It got intense. It got intense. But hey, man, it was all with purpose. It was all with purpose, man. I can go out and back it up with my players well, and my guys helped me out. You know, so there was no malice in it. But hey, I think I can talk with the best of them. I think these guys know that.
Trash talking is part of the game. It's part of how we grew up. A guy trash talking you will make you play better than your mama watching. So,
Facts.
You know, it's part of the game, and we love it. We embrace it. You know, and guys do it all in fun. And, you know, we're making guys, you know, play hard, and that's what it's all about.
Come on. I mean, two things that even someone who's entering into this thing who wasn't a part of it last year for me, even being out there yesterday, you guys are here to get some runs in. It's competitive style basketball, but it's also a lot of fun. And if you can't have that, you're wearing a crown. You were wearing
you like it, don't you?
dude, I'm about to borrow it. I never was one of those pageant queens, but I like the opportunity.
Everybody loves it, but everybody can't wear it.
You're right about that, Rashad. We appreciate you being here. Good luck this season. As the night goes on, we'll be keeping tabs on Cube's draft expertise over here. He's not wearing a suit for nothing, you guys. Here's his current list of his best 20 players available. So, Cube, how you feeling about this list? Any adjustments you want to make?
Oh, man, I should have had, you know, you can't put them all in. I wish I could have had a list about 90 players, but they're all good. They're all ready to play, you know. It's hard to break it down to just 20, but you just got to look at some of these players. I saw them yesterday, and they look good. Gennaro Pargo looked good. Jamario Moon looked good. Will Bynum. You know, these guys are ready. Josh Powell, guys are ready.
Well, I always would take Michael Rappaport #1. So let's check in with him and one of the players hoping to make that walk to the podium later tonight. Rapp, what you got, buddy?
All right, I'm with Quentin Richardson, who got drafted into the NBA when he was 19. Still looks 19, but now you're 37. I saw you at the Combine yesterday, but you made the executive decision not to work out. What was going on with that decision, Quentin?
Nothing in particular. Just thought I'd take my chances. I knew it was optional to do, so just take my chance and see what happens.
Now, you look like you're in shape. Have you been playing ball? Are you Big 3 ready?
Yeah, I'll be ready. If I get picked for June 22nd, I'll be ready.
All right, now, what was the highlight of running into some of the friends, your guy Darius Miles, old friends, old foes, old enemies? Who'd you see, who'd you like to see yesterday at the Combine?
Everybody, man. It was awesome. Just like a big family reunion of all of your NBA players from so many different years and teams you might have played with, definitely played against. But, I mean, that was like the best part of everything, getting to see everybody and, you know, just chop it up with people.
All right, Quentin, good luck. I'll be here on the silence. I call it as I see it. Carissa, what's going on?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Cube mentioned the concept behind co-captains earlier, and one thing the Big 3 does not lack is star power. You guys, among the additions to the rosters this season, Carlos Boozer, Glenn Davis, Ron Artest, Amari Stoudemire, and Nate Robinson, as well as our next guest. We are joined now by Three's Company, co-captains Baron Davis and Drew Gooden. Hello, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Nice to have you up here. How does it feel to help, take this league? I mean, this guy's vision right here sort of to that next level in its second year.
I would say, first of all, I was a fan last year. I would have this on my DVR, the Big 3, and be eager to watch the games. And it was more of a relationship of guys that I knew. And I was a fan of the Big 3 sport and the game because guys like BD was a teammate of mine in LA. And to be able to be involved in something like this now going forward, and I see the potential of the league, I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, and just shout out to Q for just recognizing that, there's still life in basketball. There's still life in basketball players. And, giving all these guys an opportunity last year and seeing them rock out and then them coming back to LA like, yo, why didn't you play? Why didn't you play? And all the fans like, why didn't you play? And I'm playing basketball and, just to see the camaraderie and, just all my homeboys, just like, I want to get out there and rock it out.
Yeah.
They was missing out, man. They was missing out on all the fun that was going on. So we tried to get these guys last year, but I'm saying it took some convincing with the play.
When I saw Kmart crying in the championship,
it meant something.
That's when I knew it was real.
It meant something, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it definitely meant something.
We're excited to add these new players. I mean, they're star power. This is what get people into the arenas. Baron Davis, he has his Drew League, so I wasn't sure. I was like, Baron, you gonna play for us, man? And so it's great to have him out, and we're supporting each other, and it's just a great thing.
Well, let's go through that for a second. When Cube gives you a call, sort of walk me through the steps. Or like, when did you realize you want to be a part of this?
I talked to Cube, and Cube was just like, BD, this is for you, this is for you. And then Chuck called.
I've been recruiting him for a year.
I want to know what his sales pitch is.
I've been recruiting him since last year before we started.
There's a lot of shenanigans too,
from the beginning. And last year I was like, man, it's like, Cube, like, it's gonna be sold out, there's gonna be people there. And I'm like, all right, dude. I checked with my knees, and my knees was like, hold on, homie. Like, you may need another year.
Yeah.
And so, and then we started talking in the summer, and I just wanted to really see how it went, see how the guys held up, how they felt their body held up. And, it just gave me a chance to get right. And then me and Q started talking over Christmas, and I was like, I'm in, and Chuck was like, yo, you gotta come play. We need you on the squad. We got this dude right here, so this is my dog. When we played for the Clippers, he was the only dude who kind of kept me sane. So it'd be fun to play with a clean spirit, and bring some fun and with all these guys that we love and respect, and especially like these legends, guys who paved the way for us, and hopefully we can do the same as the Big Three continues to grow.
Absolutely. Only in the second year, like I said, I'm a newcomer to this, and I can already tell the enthusiasm that's behind it, and rightfully so, seeing what you guys did last year and gaining momentum indeed. We are just a few moments away from the Ball Hogs taking the stage to make that all-important #1 pick. The countdown is on, you guys, so don't go anywhere. Plenty more ahead, live from the 2018 Big 3 draft, only where, Cube?
On FS1, baby.
With over 90 players vying for just 90 players, and there's only 19 open roster spots in the Big 3 this season. The competition in this draft pool has been fierce. 49 players attended the Big 3 Combine in Santa Monica yesterday to provide the coaches and captains with a little reminder of what they bring to the table. And speaking of tables, as we are just moments from the start of the draft, the team execs are gathered and kind of crunching their numbers, looking over their rosters there. They've got a lot of big decisions to make over the next 90 minutes. Rick Barry and Ball Hogs will kick things off tonight, followed by Threes Company, Killer Threes, Power, Tri-State, and finally Ghost Ballers in round 1. Welcome back, everybody. Joining us now is the coach of the Three-Headed Monsters, former #2 overall pick, NBA champion, and 9-time All-Star, one of my favorite players growing up, Gary the Glove Payton. What up, G?
What's up?
This guy, you done eating? You were eating over there?
The wings was pretty good.
This one doesn't, never misses a free meal, by the way. I'm shocked that he even made it to set on time. Can you believe this is only his second year? I mean, it's really incredible what's happened in such a short amount of time.
Well, this is a great lead. Everybody didn't know what it was going to be about. Last year, we all started off. A lot of people didn't come here in really good shape, and then they got in shape over the process of the season, and then it became a great league. But now everybody is here. The new players are just coming in. I'm more excited. Trilogy won it, and I was runner-up. But we got a tough task to come out because we got a lot of tougher guys that's going to play on different teams, and it's going to be great.
We were at the Combine yesterday, and I remember standing there with you, and you were like, competition's high this year. It's one thing, the inception of this idea, you kind of figure out what everyone's got, you get the first year out of the way, but now the second year, people are prepared, and they came in shape yesterday.
A lot of them came in shape. Last year, we didn't have that. We didn't have a lot of people that was in shape. This year, we got everyone probably was in shape this year because they want to play in this. Like they said, they watched it on DVR when they was at their home, and now they say they want to be a part of it. And now it's making it more competition because these guys are coming out here to get these spots.
Well, let's do it. Let's get things officially underway. We go now to Cube, who is standing by with Big 3 League Commissioner Clyde the Glide Drexler. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Clarissa. I'd like to welcome everybody to the 2018 Big 3 Draft. Professional 3-on-3 basketball is here to stay. We had a great season last year. We're going to have a great season this year. And I'd like to introduce the man to my left, 10-time All-Star, world champion, member of the Dream Team, and the best commissioner in sports, Clyde the Glide Drexler.
Hey. Thank you, Q. Thank you, babe. The 2018 Big 3 draft is officially underway. I'm Clyde Drexler. I'm your new commissioner. I'm delighted and tremendously excited to be here. We're all expecting another great summer. And now, officially, the Ball Hogs are on the clock.
Here we go.
Here we go. We're underway. All right, so when you look at the Ball Hogs, they're coming off, let's just got a rough season in 2017.
Yeah, you've been inundated.
Okay, you know what? I'm trying to be nice here. After a slow start, they were a slow start at 1-6. When you look at this team, what's their biggest need?
I think they need a dominant scorer. I think they lost some guys. They had to put all their guys back in the draft. Some guys that played well for them last year. They made a trade, trading Xavier Silas last year. But I think they need a dominant scorer. I think they need someone who can go get his own shot at any given time. And there's some guys that's in this draft pool that can do that. So we'll see what they go with.
Cube, welcome back to the table.
Thank you.
We're off and running.
Yes.
When you look at this team, what's their biggest need?
I think they need point guard. You know, they have Brian and they have Josh. They've added Deshaun Stevenson. So I think they need, point guard guys that handle the ball, guys who can break people down and get their own shot.
What do you like about Xavier's game, G?
Well, I think that he brings to the table what Ken said. He can score the basketball. But I really think that they need a big man, really. They need a big man and a point guard. With 2 picks in the first one, I would go with a big man right here because you can get a point guard in the second round. With Deshaun Stevenson being added, I think that he scores the basketball too. So you got to get a presence in there with a big man.
Kenny, you mentioned Andre Owens. What do you like specifically about his game?
His aggression. His aggression and his confidence. He displayed his aggression last year and his belief in himself last year at the Combine. And I think his work over the first season let guys know what he was about. He chose not to compete yesterday in the Combine, which I'm cool with because his play speaks for itself and everybody knows how hard he works.
I love his attitude. He knows he belongs. He knows he's, can play this game of basketball at a high level, and he isn't afraid to show it at all moments. So I really love AO.
We got less than a minute on the clock now with their first pick. G, aside from, you needing a scorer, you need a big man, all that kind of stuff, what's your advice if you were picking on this team? Who you grab?
I think I'll get the best player out there. I think
really?
so.
Well, Gary, that makes sense. The best player.
The best player to me. The best player to me. Listen, the best player out of the two, out of the point and the
Thank
big
you,
man.
Gary, for your analysis. He's going to look for the best player out there.
And I guarantee you, I know who the best player is.
Who is it? Who would you take?
Well, I think I know what they're going to take. I think they're going to take Andre. He reminds me of myself a lot, and I think that he'll give them a great opportunity to win basketball games. If they pick Andre, I think that's the best basketball player right now in this draft right now.
All right, we got 11 seconds. We'll count it down here. We don't have time for a follow-up question. The draft's underway, you guys. The first pick is going to be in 3 seconds, whether they like it or not. So let's go to the podium. And head coach Rick Barry, that magical sound means the Ball Hogs' #1 overall selection is?
Okay, brothers, here we go. With the first pick, the 2018 Big 3 draft, the Ball Hogs are happy to have joining us this year. Yeah, and you guys blew it over. You already said who it was. Andre Owens. Come on,
Andre Owens, 37 years old.
Indiana.
Went to Houston, transferred from Indiana. He was undrafted 2 years in the NBA. You guys called it. G?
Yeah. He was. Oh, sorry about that.
No, jump in. This is your thing.
It's your thing.
Second overall pick of last year's draft and the #1 overall pick this year. And, I'm not surprised at all.
No,
I knew it. I knew they was going to get him. I mean, he established what he had to do last year. can score the basketball. He brings you that gut. He brings you that attitude, and that's what I like. He brings you that attitude.
He comes with it each and every time he takes the floor, and that's what you want. You want someone who you can depend on, that's going to be reliable each and every week, and I think he did that last year, and he's going to do the same again this year.
Yeah, proven. He was the only player last year to finish in the top 5 in points, rebounds, and assists, so a good pick for them. I heard Michael Rappaport is standing by.
Yes.
I am standing by with the #1 pick, Mr. Andre Owens. You made a big splash last year, season 1. Was there any concern that you were not going to be the #1 pick, Andre?
I was just confident in my ability, and whatever they went with, that's their choice. But somebody would have drafted me.
All right, so there's a bunch of guys in the waiting room waiting to see who gets drafted. What would you say to them in terms of the style of basketball that really goes down in the Big 3?
I feel like you got to be in shape. You know, some people try to come here not in shape. This is very serious because you'll get exposed on offense and you get exposed on defense if you can't do one or other.
Well, I'm feeling good. I'm in shape. Congratulations on being the #1 pick, season 2. Good luck to the Ball Hogs, and God bless the fact that you'll be teaming up with Brian Scalabrine. Carissa?
I like that Rappaport said that he's in shape. We're happy.
Excuse me. I'm in great shape.
No, yeah, you are. We can tell that.
I'm in fantastic shape. Thank you.
Shape of what, though?
Yeah.
Kenyon, I'll walk off the set again. I'll walk off the set. This time I don't care if you pay for my parking.
Round is definitely a shape.
I don't care if you pay for my parking anymore, Kenyon. I'm only going to take so much.
Looking ahead now, Three's Company. So they barely missed the playoffs last season. Wow, that was worthy of an applause. Is that for Andre?
Oh, no, that's for Andre. That's for Andre. That's definitely for Andre.
They don't let Rappaport.
Or they was clapping that Mike was leaving, one of the two.
Well, exactly. We'll let you at home be the judge of that. So already they've added Baron Davis and Drew Gooden. So who should be on their radar for this pick right now, you guys, for Three's Company?
I think they need a big, of course, but I think they need another scorer to go along with Baron. DeMar's an excellent shooter. He spreads the floor, but I think they need a guy that's going to be aggressive attacking the rim. They lost Andre Owens. There was their guy last year. So I think they're looking for someone similar.
Okay, G?
Same thing. I agree with Kenyon. They need somebody that can score. They can score the basketball. I think they're big enough right now, but always good for a big man because a lot of us are big in this league, and you can't handle that, but I always go with a shooting guard. Always. I always go with a shooting guard.
Liking this one.
I think they're pretty good. I think I would go with a big. You know, I think DJ's a great wing player. Drew's great on the box, but he's gonna need some help. You need a two-headed monster in this league, even though we got three-headed monsters. In the lane.
That magical sound means that the second pick is in. Let's go now to the podium and team captain DeMar Johnson with Three's Company's first-round selection.
Second pick, Three's Company select Andre Emmett.
6'5" out of Texas.
Hometown.
You guys are all saying that's a great pick.
Yeah. He's from my neck of the woods.
Their coach, of course, to remind the people at home, is Allen Iverson, who is not here right now. He'll be happy with that one?
He'll be happy because this guy can score the basketball. He's a big body, and he can play the two. And I think he'll go good with DeMar. What did you say? I think so.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Listen, he from my neck of the woods down in Dallas, man. I've been knowing him for a long time. He didn't make a lot of splash in the league, but he has a lot of these guys respect. Because they know the game.
Went to school at Texas Tech.
Scored 74 points in China. He can score the ball. He can score,
Say what?
70 points in China. Listen, 70 points in any league is tough.
I was going to say,
Especially
forget China, just say 70 points.
He can score
right
the basketball,
there.
man.
Andre Emmett, the #2 overall pick in the Big 3 2018 draft. Q, when you look at him, how much difference can he make for this team?
I mean, he's big, like they say, he can score the basketball. 6'5" big as far as, going well with Baron Davis, going well with DJ. I think it's a great pick. I thought they was going to go bigger, but, to me, this is a great pick.
Okay. The Killer Threes were the preseason favorites to start last season, but finished where?
Hey, in the basement.
Dead last. Ron Artest brings them a new inside presence. But what other needs, all jokes aside, can they fill with this third overall pick?
I think they need a big. Them losing Reggie Evans, I think they need a big. I think they need a big that can compete night in and night out because you have guys like Jermaine and Al and Drew Gooden, those guys who picked up. Amari Stoudemire coming in. So I think they need a big. I think they go big here, but we'll see.
Gee, I know you're a fan of scoring. What do they need?
They don't need it. They don't need a scorer. They need a big. I think they need a big who can guard a lot of players like what Reggie gave to him and can move his feet and then can score the basketball too. I think they have to go with a big right here.
Speaking of big, Michael Rappaport's with Charles Oakley right now. Let's check in with them.
All right, I'm here with Charles Oakley, the real king of New York, the coach of the Killer Threes. I didn't know if you heard about this, but the New York Knicks have a coach opening. I'm just saying that. Anyway, you guys are getting ready to come up next. You've picked up a lot of guys in the offseason. You got a guy named Ron Artest. You got this guy here, Steven Jackson. I call you guys temperamental three. What's going into your pick, your first pick this second season of the Big Three, Oak?
Basically, we're just trying to get someone who can play within the guys we have. Someone versatile, can play, a little in and out. But we're just trying to get somebody to add on. Someone know that when they play, they're not going to be playing a lot of minutes, just playing a role because we got our main three guys and ain't with so many minutes and ain't with so many shots. So we just get some guys that really want to play with the guys we have, and hopefully the guys we pick fit in.
All right, Oak. Let's go, my man.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Without further ado, that again, I keep referring to it as the magical sound. Charles Oakley will approach the podium with the Killer Three's first selection in the Big Three 2018 draft. The suspense is killing me.
Oak just chilling.
The Big Three. Y'all should get ready for this shit. It's gonna be very exciting. I'm going with a guy I feel can fit with the team we have from last year, Alan Anthony.
Alan Anthony.
Alan Anthony. Alan Anderson.
Yeah.
Double A?
No, Alan Anthony will be here later, but Alan Anderson is who
double
they're
A.
taking third overall.
Wow.
That's a.
You like that one, Kenny?
That's a good pick. Listen, I like him. I thought they would have went big in that pick, but hey, it's a solid professional. I mean, just played in the league recently.
I know Gary likes it when he just says,
Because I think what they did was they went with somebody that can work with Jack. Jack was doing all the scoring last year, so they got a guy who can come in and do the same thing. And I think them two in the game at the same time, they'll be a two-headed monster. They will be like that. I think that was a great pick for them.
I'm surprised.
Yes.
I thought they was gonna go much bigger. But hey, he's a dog. He can play. Just really came off the NBA court, and so, we'll see.
well, you know who's next? Power. Nancy, ready for this? Yeah. We have to take a quick break here, but 3 out of 19 picks are now in the books. You can bet things are going to start feeling a little tense in that green room as the night wears on. More Big Three draft when we return. Nancy Lieberman has done it all in the world of basketball. As a player, she dominated in college, as a member of the U.S. national and Olympic teams, and in the WNBA. Inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 1996, she would go on to serve as a head coach and GM in the WNBA and as assistant coach for the NBA's Sacramento Kings. Now she becomes the first female to helm a men's professional team as the head coach of Power in the Big Three. She is truly deserving of her nickname, Lady Magic. We love her. Welcome back, everybody. We're joined now by Ball Hogs captain Brian Scalabrine. We're going to get to you in just a minute, Scal, but right now it is time to check in and see what kind of magic Nancy Lieberman has with the 4th overall pick. Let's go to the podium. Nancy?
Hi, everybody. It's great to be with you. Actually, it's a blessing, so thank you. So with the 4th pick, Team Power is going to take Chris Anderson, Birdman, and he happens to be on the phone, and he's really excited. He says he's looking forward to seeing y'all on the court. So that is our selection, and we thank you guys very much.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Man, fan favorite.
I was going to say, all the talk leading up to this draft was about the fact that, he may be selected, marquee sort of name here, entertaining. What will he add to this team, Cube?
Toughness. The team is great, but they need a little toughness in the middle. They lost Junkyard Dog, so I think he's going to add that. You need that in the Big Three. It's big boy basketball in the paint. So whenever you can get somebody 6'10" that can go at it like Birdman, you got to go for it.
Right? I mean, they started off hot last year before that 4-game losing streak. So, Scal, what an addition this will be.
Yeah, no question about it. You think about this, there's so much more space on the floor. So, Katino Mobley, guys who can drive. Corey Maggette, a guy who can get to the basket. And Birdman's one of the best in the league. Arguably, when you talk about guys who can catch and finish, one NBA Finals when he played with the Heat, he shot 82% from the field, just cutting hard to the basket. So he's definitely going to get those opportunities. But it was hard to make that decision with a guy who we haven't seen. And I thought that was it's going to turn out probably for them. They probably have some inside information. That's probably a good pick for him.
A former teammate of mine in Denver for a few years. Bird has a lot of energy, hard worker. And he, like I said, he's a fan favorite, so he has a following, so it's going to help us in attendance as well. It's going to be great.
Before we talk Tri-State, what do you like about Andre Owens, now that we have you on the desk, that first overall pick?
So Kenyon Martin told me this man has some dog in him, and I needed some dog on my team. And I was a little disappointed that he didn't play yesterday. And I looked at everybody. There was no one that really blew me away and saying this guy's a for sure #1 pick. So based on last year and what he brought, I think he's going to be a better two-way player this year. Just make sure he's going to compete at a high level. And for my team, it's different. I'm a role player. I'm drafting a guy who needs to be the best player, and it's a very unique situation, different than the rest of the teams out there. So Andre Owens is going to understand his responsibility, and he's going to be held to a high level of standard on both ends of the floor.
It was unanimous up here when he was taken. You guys kind of all thought that that's sort of the way that it would go. There was a little bit of, surprise with the Allen Anderson pick.
Yeah, I mean, they need scoring for that team. Eventually they're going to have to match up with the big. If you want to really dive into it, the three-headed monster, them picking up Reggie Evans changed the whole dynamic of the league. Guys got to get bigger. You got to get stronger. Maybe they feel like they can get someone in the second round. I'm definitely focused on getting a big with my next pick.
I'm looking at the clock here, 22 seconds left for the upcoming pick in Tri-State. They started 1-5 last season. They finished strong. Quick Cube, sort of what you think this team needs.
Wing players. They need, they got, players on the box, I think. I just think they need, shooting guards and forwards, guys that can slash and cut and open it up. It's going to be great.
Okay. That sound. The pick is in. Let's go to the podium now with head coach Dr. J with Tri-State's first selection.
So Tri-State's going to take the number 5 pick in the Big 3 2018 draft, and we're going to take David Hawkins.
Surprised?
A little bit.
I'm not surprised at all.
You're not surprised at all.
He had a great day yesterday. He had a great day yesterday. I'm surprised he slipped to the 5th pick. I'm surprised, the way he played yesterday, and he played well last year. Spot dude, he was a little injured last year, but when he was out there, he played well last year for Three's company. But that's a great pickup for them. They need scoring on the wing, tough guy, still actively playing overseas, So he's going to be in shape when he comes back. So it's a great pick.
Averaged 4 1/3 points last year for Three's company, last season. Played in that Italian league back in 2010, the Turkish league in 2012. Cube, what do you like about this pick?
Oh, man, he's a dog. He's a guy that is going to give you 110% every time. Comes in, works hard, doesn't say too much, but is hard-nosed. People hate to see him coming, so it's a great pick.
Can we just all talk about how cool Dr. J is? He is the epitome of swag. When he walks up to the podium right now, very similar swag as Michael Rappaport. He's with Dr. J now.
I'm with Julius, Dr. J. Irving. I always get nervous talking to you, Doc. Listen, it's got to be an honor to be drafted by the good doctor. Why did you make this pick with David the Hawk Hawkins?
Yo.
Well, he's family. You know, he's a Temple University guy, Philly connection. Jermaine loves him. Nate loves him. So I love him.
Listen, I'm not going to question Dr. J. Carissa, that's what the man said. He loves him. They made the decision. Why are you giving me dirty looks?
That's not me.
All right, sorry.
That's the only other blonde that's in here with a red hue, and that's Scalabrini on the end. Ghost Ballers, you guys, they were a hard team to figure out last year. They, 4-4 last season. They never really competed against winning teams. So when you look at this squad, Cube, what do they need?
Oh, wow. I think they still, need a point guard, wing player. It'll be great. They need bigs. They lost Ivan Johnson, so, they can go either way.
Okay, Mark, what do you think this team needs?
I definitely think they probably need a score. Mike Bibby has become a deadly three-point shooter, so he's changed his game a lot.
He led the league in four-pointers.
Yeah, he's changed his
assists.
game a lot.
Yeah.
So I think somebody that can put the ball on the deck alongside Ricky Davis.
I see you looking down your list there. Who jumps out to you?
Right now, I like, in this spot, you have a guy like Al Thornton who played well last year. Lee Nalon played well last year. Terrence Williams, got Antoine Wright.
I mean, they add Carlos Boozer on the interior.
Yeah,
I mean,
so but there's you got Josh Powell. He can do multiple things. He's a big, but he can step out on the perimeter, make shots, defends, rebounds. So somebody like that, I think, to help Booze. They're going to have to get a big eventually. So let's see what they do.
I mean, Scott, I just tell you, you got Bibby, you got Boozer.
Yeah, you need shooting. They're going to need a big wing that can shoot. Al Thornton is actually a good call because he's very versatile, can do multiple things.
All right, let's find out who they go with. Team captain Mike Bibby, it's all you.
With the 6th pick, Ghost Ballers take Lee Nalon.
Wow.
Lee Nalon.
Good
okay.
Pick.
Yeah.
43 years old, 6 years of NBA experience. He averaged 11.1 points per game for Tri-State last season. Scal, good pick?
Yeah, he could score. I mean, he can get the ball off the block. It's going to be interesting trying to fit in him and Boozer together, but no question about it. They have a guy that can throw it in and go get you a bucket.
Hey, Mark, you like that choice?
I definitely like that choice for them. Like I said, they need a guy. He's not a big, not a small. He's a tweener. Yeah. But he can score the ball with the best of them. He led the nation in scoring when he was in college. So he put the ball in the basket with the best of them.
Cube, you happy with that one?
Oh, yeah, it's a great pick. Got the size. He's going to be able to do well with Ricky Davis. I think they're off to a great start.
All right, there he is. You see the credentials there. Played 6 seasons in the NBA. You guys think he'll be a great fit with 2 other perennial players, Mike Bibby and Carlos Boozer. Scal, it's been a real pleasure.
I'm on the clock.
All right, thank you for making the time tonight. His ball hog will return to the stage with the first pick of round 2. That smile, I hope someone captured that. After this, we're taking a break. Stay with us. And then summer fun lies ahead, ladies and gentlemen. The 2018 Big 3 season kicks off on Friday. Mark your calendars, June 22nd. It's in Houston. A reminder that Fox Sports is your exclusive home for the Big 3. We will be covering all the action throughout the league live on Fox and on FS1. So make Friday your day all summer long. Welcome back, everybody, to the Big 3 draft on FS1. Cube, this is it.
This
Look
is
at
it.
us.
Hey,
Year 2, we're on FS1, the draft. We're joined by Power head coach Nancy Lieberman, and we've got league commissioner and former Power coach Clyde Drexler. We are excited to talk to both of you guys in just a minute, but right now we got to head back to the podium where Captain Brian Scalabrini is ready with the Ball Hogs' second round pick. Scal?
All right, with the second pick, seventh pick of the Big 3 draft, I finally got an answer for Reggie Evans, Jermaine O'Neal, and Kwame Brown. The Ball Hogs are selecting Corsley Edwards.
Corsley Edwards, 39 years old, played 1 year in the NBA. A lot of things are happening here. A lot of movement. Wait, hold on. What's Gary saying down here?
Gary said that he was balling yesterday at the combine, and I think he was one of those secret picks nobody wanted to talk about, but everybody wanted to get.
Okay, Nancy, what is your assessment of that pick?
You have to be big, you have to be strong, and
great pick. He showed off in the combine. That's the strength of the combine, the Big 3 combine. Nobody had him on their boards before, but afterwards, everyone was looking at Corsley.
Well, what did he do yesterday for people that didn't have an opportunity, obviously, to be there? What was he showing out?
He's a big body. He knows how to use his leverage. He's a good shooter. He's got great post-up skills. He's in great shape. He's young. He's going to be a force in the Big 3.
Well, Gary, you're excited about it.
Oh, yeah, I like it. Everybody likes it.
Nancy, you got Birdman with your pick. I know that you had a chance, obviously, to talk to him on the phone. You mentioned that he was excited. Can you expand upon that conversation at all and sort of why he's interested in joining something as great as the Big 3?
He was overly excited when I spoke to him, and he's in great shape. I mean, he's a world champion. He knows how to win. He's a tough guy. He said, I'll do whatever it takes, for us to be successful. He's been talking with our guys, with Corey and with Kat. So we're excited to have him. You have to be big and strong in this league.
Well, because that's the thing. We haven't had. Have you seen him work out, or you're just trusting what he has to say?
Well, these are paid professionals, and you have to trust that they understand that when they come into this league, the Big 3 is no joke. You have to come in here ready to play, ready to compete, and if you don't, then somebody's going to go right by you, and he's too competitive for that.
Mm-hmm. As the commissioner of the league, and you see this thing and how it's already taken off in just its second year, what is a reason for you that you wanted to be a part of something like this and this great guy's, idea?
The guy beside you, Cube. I believed in Cube's vision. He loves some of these ex-players who are just leaving the NBA. He says, you know what? These guys still have a lot left in the tank. And so that's how he started the Big 3. The innovation, the vision was incredible. But one thing we found out, they didn't have just a little left in the tank. They got a lot left in the tank. So the Big 3 is alive and well. The competition is fierce. Nancy, you're going to be a rookie coach. You know what competition is all about. It's on. These guys are going after it. It's the best league in the world because you got professional players who've done it for many years.
Looking at the clock here, we got about 18 seconds. So, Nancy, did Clyde give you any advice being a rookie coach sort of entering into this Big 3?
He didn't give me a lot of advice, but he left me with a great basketball team that he selected last year. So, we have great veterans in Corey Maggette and Catino Mobley, Big Baby Davis, now Birdman. So we're pretty happy about where we are.
We're stacked. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
The pick is in. Let's go to the podium now and co-captain Drew Gooden with the Threes Company's second round selection.
Hello, everyone. With the 8th pick, with our pick, we wanted to reward somebody that actually showed up and participated in the combine and stood out. And this guy stood out to us. And with the 8th pick, we select Jason Maxill.
Yeah. Hey, man, great pick. He's definitely a guy I had at the top of my board. Big body, strong, definitely can help in versatile player. So this is a great pick for them. And man, they're getting stronger.
Clyde, did I hear you at the end there? You said you would have taken him where?
I think Jason Maxill is a top 3 pick. He's young, he's versatile, he's 6'9", he can guard big guys, our guards, he can score down low, and he recently left the NBA. He's in great shape.
It's unbelievable because if you can get a player that can play multiple positions, at least now you have some substitution options. It's like, the guy said, he's perfect for the Big 3 league. He's strong, he is young, youth will matter, even though there's a lot of experience out there. That's a great pick.
Cube, obviously this whole thing is your idea. What is something that Jason will bring to this team, especially with the uniqueness of the Big 3 format?
Well, I think, you need a player that can play on the box, do a little pick and roll, and I think he's going to be great at it. Players like him with his size flourishes in our league. I mentioned Ivan Johnson, Al Harrington, these guys who have the big bodies that can move them will flourish in the Big 3.
We got 1:29 on the clock for the Killer Threes. Clyde, what would you say to, let's say, people that maybe weren't familiar with the Big Three last year and tuning in right now? What do you think makes this thing so special?
Well, I think no one knew what it would become last season. And after the first game, it just got better and better. The fan participation became even greater and greater. This year, everyone's looking forward to the new year. We got great players with the addition of all these ex-NBA superstars. You know, the Big Three Cube, I'm sure in the second season, you never thought it would get this big.
I mean, I was hoping and dreaming and wishing. But we want to continue to grow, continue to build a fan base. You know, we got a lot of work to do, continue to get sponsors and continue to grow the league and move in the right direction. In success, we want to expand. So it's a great start.
Yeah, a lot of big names. One of those guys is the Killer 3's selection. He's going to go ahead and make that right now. Co-captain Steven Jackson with the 9th overall pick. Steven?
What up, what up, what up? With the 3rd pick in the 2nd round, 2018 Big 3 draft, the Killer 3 select Ryan Hollins. He's not here right now, but we need him. We need a big guy, athletic, that can make plays, block shots, and really talk some defense. Something that we needed, filled the big hole for us. So, Ryan Hollins, welcome to Killer 3s.
All right, look at that. So with 9 picks in, we are just about halfway there. Nancy, you are back on the clock, so we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a second. You got some work to do. There's still 10 spots remaining. Plenty of fingers crossed in that green room right now. The Big 3 draft continues after this.
Point blank. You're not going to holler at me. Point blank, bro. Point blank. Why you talking so loud? You took me out because he fouled me. Okay, you know why? Because you keep all the fucking me out. We don't win. We ain't going to win. You can win. Not if I'm not out there. Really? Man, that's a damn foul. I don't give a damn. Jay, let it go. I ain't letting nothing go. Well, you ain't out there. You gotta let it go. I'm finna go check myself in a minute. You gonna run through me then. All right, but that's what it's gonna be. Go through me then. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. I wanna see this. I wanna set something out of night. I ain't never said that to a coach.
Steven Jackson over here is going, you guys would play that.
Yeah,
y'all would play that. Charles Oakley, Steven Jackson, we will get into that in just a second. It's one of the many things that we love about the Big 3. Right now, it is the draft. For those of you just tuning in, we've got 9 picks in, so we're going to send it to the podium right now, where Power Captain Corey Maggette is ready with the 10th pick of the draft. Little energy, huh, kids?
Hey, guys. With the 10th pick for Team Power, Big 3, we would select Quentin Richardson.
Wow. Oh, man. You know he can shoot that thing. They've played together before, so the chemistry is going to be off the chain. Right. And, you know, he's still in shape, still ready to do it. He came in the gym yesterday evaluating. So I think Hugh going to go to work.
Doesn't lack experience. 13 seasons in the NBA. Charles, what do you like about him?
Well, I knew him from Chicago. Chicago guy. He's a guy. He's a nice size. He can put a guy on the block. In this game, all about taking advantage of someone. He can do that. And hey, he's a great addition for that team.
Mm-hmm. That's my brother. I'm happy he's in the league. Another guy that's gonna come out and compete. Another guy that we got to worry about. Mm-hmm. But I'm happy. He's a guy that belongs in this league, and he's one of those dogs that's definitely coming to play.
Played with Corey, of course, with the Clippers. How big of a difference that? I mean, the chemistry. They already know how that thing works together.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, they played together. But you know, I think everybody in this league got a lot of respect for Q for what he's done in the league, and we know he's gonna come and play and bring it in this league. And I'm just happy to have him. That's my brother.
Three-headed monsters are on the clock right now. As the runners-up last season, they returned nearly their entire roster, and this is their only pick in the draft. So we have Michael Rappaport standing by. Michael?
I'm here with Gary Payton, who shockingly is talking to somebody while I'm trying to conduct an interview on live television. I'm sorry. Hall of Famer, you got one draft, okay? One draft to make things right, okay? You got Sweet Lou over here. Yeah. What are we going to do here to right the wrongs, to fix the ship? GP.
I'm going to get some more help for him. I got some help with Reggie Evans. I got Damian Wilkins. I think it's going to be a big difference for me. I need somebody else that can score off of pick and rolls and shoot the basketball, and I think that I got that guy.
Bashard, how you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good about the pick we about to get.
Very confident, three-headed monster. Gary Payton, Sweet Lou, Carissa. How close are we to making this pick?
Well, according to the clock, 54 seconds. But you got some intensity down there. Michael Rappaport, I like it.
I'm with Gary Payton. You know, it's like you never know what you're getting with him. It's left, it's right. He's coming at me all different side angles. He's from Oakland. I got to check my wallet. This guy, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Yeah. He's telling knock-knock jokes. I mean, this is Gary Payton. He's the glove. All right, Carissa?
More like the mitten. I'm kidding, Gary. Jokes. Let's go back to you two for a second. That's one of the classic clips that we rolled off the top. I know you had some fun with it, you know, in looking back in hindsight, but it speaks to the competitiveness of this league.
Well, and it shows how passionate we are. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, if I had to say somebody that I was most like as a player, it's this guy, and I look up to him, and we might beef during the games and argue, but at the end of the day, we're trying to win, and that's the common goal. I can't say how much respect I have for him.
That sound means the pick is in. So, Gary, with the three-headed monster selection, you take?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hey, with the 11th pick in the second round, the three-headed monsters select Sling Stoudemire.
Okay.
He's not here right now.
Cube, how valuable is that sixth pick?
Oh, man, it's real valuable. You know, that was their only pick. They needed to replace Baisden, and I think they did. You know, they got a player that they've been looking for and looking at, and I'm glad when guys can pick the players they really want.
So there's a lot of people watching right now who completely understand all the different dynamics that go on with the Big Three, and there's some people who are tuning in for the first time. So if you will sort of catch those people up to speed that aren't really aware how valuable sort of that sixth position is and how this whole thing is set up.
Well, you know, with the three-headed monsters, they only had one pick this year because they were runner-ups. So, you know, they chose to send one player back to the draft pool from the second round. That's why they get to pick out the second round. If they would have sent the first-round draft player back, they would have picked in the first round, third round, and so on.
Gotcha. And again, what are some of the other changes for people that are new to the Big Three that maybe you guys didn't have last year that you've implemented this year?
Oh, this year, I mean, you know, we're going to do a couple things different. Last year, we had a couple games in on free throws. This year, we're going to add that foul to give at a point game, and hopefully it'll end games from ending on free throws. It'll make more play.
Do you like that?
I love it. I love it.
Why?
Because we lost a couple games like that off fouls, giving guys the extra free throw. So, you know, as the league goes, we're gonna continue to get better every year, and it's just one instance of us making things better for the next season. So I'm glad they took care of that.
Mm-hmm. Oak, you only in one game last year. You had kind of a famous moment. Let's take a look at that, if we will.
Oh, wow.
He got me some shots from wide open threes, too.
Boom. Oh.
Well,
Care to explain yourself?
it was based on you playing basketball, and when someone holding your arms, you always throw your hands up. I was telling a couple guys on my team because they was complaining about someone was holding them. I said the best way to get them off is throw your hands in the air. But, you know, I wasn't trying to hurt no one. It's basketball. Things happen. You know when someone's trying to hurt you. I was running out to make a pick, and he holding my hand, so he knew I wasn't trying to just punch him in the face or nothing like that. So we talked about it. It was fun. And it's fun. It was fair. And I'm just sorry I hit him in the face like that, but things do happen.
You playing out there with Big Oak, you expect to take a couple of shots to the face.
Al a big boy, too, boy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, I ain't
hard to guard.
I ain't expecting him to fall that easy, but these guys, when I seen my man Big Baby get a concussion, you know, on a pick, I said, this ain't basketball no more.
Mm-hmm.
They should be wearing some dresses out here.
Dresses, not a sport. That's completely different. We got 16 seconds left. When you take a look at this board right here, Mr. Oakley, what stands out to you the most so far?
It's been some great talent pick. I think everyone trying to get ready for the trilogy this year. Everybody want to make that run, try to win the championship. And I know that we got another pick left, and we need another playmaker, somebody can make things happen on the court, make big plays. You know, we want a lot of pick and rolls, and we want to make guys be honest on defense. So we just waiting for our next pick, and we're going to pick somebody good.
All right. Speaking of pick, Tri-State selection is in. Let's go to the podium now with Jermaine O'Neal.
With the 12th pick in the second round, Tri-State selects Robert Height.
Yeah, he balled out. Yeah.
Robert Height, 34 years old, went to school in Miami, played for the Heat 2006, 2007. Cube?
Yeah, he balled out yesterday. He really had a great combine. I kept hearing people telling me to take a look at him and check him out. So I'm not surprised. You know, when you come and show your skills, you know, you never know who's watching. And he did a great job. Great pick.
He came in shape. Like, he one of those guys that took this serious. He came in shape, ready to play. He showed up early, one of the first ones dressed. And you got to reward a guy like that. He's taking it serious, and that's the type of guys we want in this league.
Absolutely. There was a comment earlier about, you know, applauding the guys that showed up.
Right.
I mean, you said it to me yesterday, and you said it more eloquently than I'm going to say it, but
we don't want your name, we want your game.
There we go.
Everybody here got a name.
Right.
We don't want your name, we want your game. Let's send it to Michael Rappaport right now, who's with Robert Height.
Robert Height, yesterday at the draft, I was referring to as number 22. Everybody was saying number 22, number 22. How you feel about getting drafted season 2 of the Big 3?
Feeling good, man. You know, just want to come out here and impress, and I think I did that, and, you know, thank God Jermaine O'Neal called my name, and I'm ready to get started.
Now, Jermaine O'Neal, Twitter suggested that maybe we should start calling him Jermaine O'Meal. I didn't create that. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to call him Jermaine O'Neal.
Absolutely, he deserves it. Listen, congratulations. Welcome to the Big 3 Season 2, Carissa.
Respect right there. Round 2 is almost in the books. Thank you guys for joining us up here.
Anytime.
Good luck to both you guys throughout the year. And, you know, things are starting to feel a little bit spooky around here. It's kind of an interesting dynamic. There's the enthusiasm for those guys that have left. I'm making the pun right there off Ghost. But also, you got a green room over there, guys that aren't really sure. Remember, there's only a few spots left. We got plenty more Big 3 draft coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Do we got a problem? Huh? We got a problem here. We got a problem here. What's up?
Day, don't let them hype your ass up to get you killed out here.
Yay, yay. Yay, yay.
Damn. We Craig and Day. We ain't no top flight security.
They don't know, don't show. I don't care about what's going on in the hood.
Bye, Felicia. Get the hell on, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. That's what I'm rolling with.
Oh, Lord.
Grade his impression.
Oh, man, Nate was better than me on some of them. You know what I mean? What's up? Y'all can definitely be my stunt doubles.
I love it. We are back here, Richard Lewis and Coach Gary Payton of the Three-Headed Monsters. For this moment, we're going to get to them in just a second to expand upon a few things, but right now we're going to head back to the podium where co-captain Ricky Davis has the pick for Ghost Ballers. Ricky?
With the 13th pick, second round, Ghost Ballers choose Marcus Banks.
Oh, wow.
Y'all went back home, huh?
Yeah. MB.
You talking about loyalty right there?
That's loyal. That's loyalty.
Yeah,
he did good work for them last year, and for them to come back and do that, that was pretty nice. That was classic.
Yeah, that was definitely classic.
So Marcus Banks with the 13th pick there, 36 years old, of course went to UNLV. NBA draft, he was the 13th overall, first round. What do you like about his game in the Big 3, Cube?
Oh, man, he always comes to play. You know what I mean? He's always, you know, a team player. He rallies the troops, you know, helps keep guys together. Him and Bibby work great together as a 1-2 punch. I think he's great.
One of the best defenders last year.
He has to be small. He has to be feisty. You know, when you're small, you have to get up under guys. He fights each and every possession like it's his last. He can make open shots. I like the pick for him, and they stay loyal to his to their guy, man, which is huge.
And I think that's what they got him back for too, is for the defense, because he gets under people's skin and he's a playmaker. See, he can get them the basketball because Bibby can score it too, and then Ricky can score it. I think they just went back to their original team and did what they were supposed to. They got a guy who was steady, who can play defense and make plays.
We are at our 14th pick. The Ball Hogs are on the clock. They got 1 minute and 47 seconds left. At the beginning of this thing, we asked you to put up your top 20. Looking at this thing now, I mean, your number one, Terrence Williams.
Yeah, hey, you know, I think he's, you know, one of those guys that can do a lot, pretty much do it all. And, you I'm surprised he's not off the board. But people are grabbing what they need. You know, they gotta go after trilogy. Those are the big boys of the big three. So people are grabbing what they need. You know. And maybe not what they want.
Xavier Silas, I mean, he was the first player to get an NBA contract after what he did last year in the Big Three. Are we surprised that he's not off the board?
I'm very surprised.
I am too. I'm very surprised that he's not even been picked. It's late in the round. We only got like 5 more picks. I think he will get picked in these last 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really surprised that he hasn't got picked yet.
Yeah, I thought he was actually going to go
in the top 3.
Yeah,
top 3.
You know, could have gone number 1.
Definitely
You
easy.
know, a guy who's just come off the NBA court. So I'm very surprised.
Should be interesting if he goes or not. You know, I think some of the guys.
You guys took Stoudemire. Why did you pick him?
Well, you know what? With me coaching and I had Richard, I put a lot of minutes on Richard to score the basketball. I didn't have that guy. And then I did McMood. I tried to pick him off picks, and then they started beating him up a little bit and trying to be rough with him. I thought I needed another score.
Mm-hmm.
With me getting Damian Wilkins, it's going to change a lot, too, because he can guard a big guard, too, and then I can get a score. I need somebody that can score the basketball, and I think Salim was that guy that I needed.
All right, we only have 6 picks left. It's the start of the 3rd round. So right now we're going to go to the podium where Commissioner Clyde Drexler is with BIG3. Well, he's co-founder with you, Cube.
Yes.
Jeff Quatness. They've got the pick. Gentlemen.
With the first pick in the 3rd round, the Ball Hogs select Jermaine Taylor.
Taylor. Well, what's the initial reaction there?
You know what, Jermaine Taylor, he did a great job yesterday in the combine. I was watching him, and I thought he defended well as going to the basket and scoring, and I think that's a really solid pick for those guys.
Yeah, he played well yesterday. I didn't know too much about him before then, but he made a name for himself. Bouncing around, very athletic, energetic. So he did some things that stand out yesterday.
Knowing what the Ball Hogs needed, is this the smart pick here?
Oh yeah, you know, they had a great guy last year, Derek Byers, and so I think they had to replace that kind of wing play, and I think he could do it. You got to come to the combine, you got to show up, you got to show out, and that's what he did, and that's what got him on the Ball Hogs.
Yeah, but I was surprised they didn't go big there. I was very, very surprised they didn't pick him big.
But Rick was really impressed with him. He liked him all day. He didn't even think he was going to be this far down on the draft. And as soon as he seen him, he was still on the board. Rick had to change his mind and go for him, and that's what he did.
Three's Company is on the clock. Let's check in once again with Michael Rappaport.
All right, I'm here with Drew Gooden, B. Diddy Bop. You guys are on the clock. It's your inaugural season in here, Baron. You're looking at me like you got this thing all figured out. How you feeling so far?
Man, I feel good, you know. I'm looking at everybody looking at me. I'm looking at everybody looking at me. You know, we ain't got no problems over here. We're doing a good job coaching, drafting our players. I got my dogs right here. We're going to be ready. GP looking at me right now. Kmart.
I just wanted to say happy birthday, that's all.
Thank you, dog. I love you,
Cool.
GP.
All right,
man.
yeah, that's all.
I grew up watching GP. We love him.
Are you trying to say he's old?
I am old.
He a legend.
I'm just saying, because you said I grew up watching, like I was a little kid and I watched Gary Payton, and now he's like a guy, he's got gray hair. I'm reading between the lines, BD.
Let me tell you something. Every time Gary Payton, Barry, the Doc, all these legends, when you got all these legends in the room, man, they live forever. You feel them?
Hey, Rap, you better stop.
They actually younger than you, dog. Way younger than you.
Okay, now Gary,
You've been around.
Hey, Rap, you better calm down.
Since I was in elementary school, dog, so I can't back.
Baron, this ain't your first rodeo, right? You've been on live TV before. Why you keep turning your back to the camera, man? Say hello to the people. All right, Drew Gooden, you're here. You're in this league. You're from Oakland. You got a sick beard. Okay, you look fantastic. You got sunglasses on. I left mine in the green room. How you feeling about the culmination of Three's Company going into season 2?
You know what? This is my first year. I'm not trying to do too much talking. You know what I mean? I'm just here to play.
Okay, so you're just here so you don't get fined? Oakland's in the house.
Pop your collar.
Carissa, what do you got?
Well, I know that Nancy's the only one focused here, because while you guys are goofing off, she's over there working hard. I see her diligently writing down. And BD, is it your real birthday today?
It is.
Tomorrow. Should we sing happy birthday?
I think we got to
We
pay.
some rookies in here?
I think you have to pay for that or something, don't you? Let's just give him a round of applause for his birthday tomorrow. The selection is in. Let's go back to the podium with the 15th overall pick, Three's Company.
All right, I'm Jeff Quanetz, co-founder with Ice Cube. This has been great today, super competitive. With the second pick of the third round, the Three's Company picked Derek Byers.
Derek Byers, 33, 6'7".
Yes.
Played in the league for a year.
Put in work last year.
Yeah, he put in work to the tune of 13.5 points per game.
Yes.
Solid selection right here, Q.
Always ready to play, and he can put the ball in the basket. Guys, got to guard him on the whole floor. He can take you off the dribble. It's a great pick. Great pick.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Played well last year for the Ball Hogs. I'm surprised they didn't go back with them. Speaking of loyalty, like the Ghost Ballers did, I thought they would have went back with a loyal guy who played well for them.
The two next to you are very loyal. Thanks for stopping by the desk, guys. Good luck this year. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Please
Very much.
say goodbye. We're taking a break here. The Big 3 draft of 2018 rolls on. We've got 4 picks left and a lot of guys eager to hear their names called. Coming up next. As the last few teams try to mend their rosters, we're happy to have a doctor in the house.
Happy to be here.
That's called writing right there, Dr. J. Of course, he is a basketball legend and Tri-State head coach. He joins us now. The pick for the Killer Threes is in, so before we get a chance to chat with you, we're going to go back to the podium real quick.
With the third pick in the third round, the Killer Threes select Mike James.
Wow.
Your first, Mike James is not with us. Cube, you just said wow.
Yes.
Why?
It's a great pick. He's a guy who came in last year, did a lot of work. And he's a dog. The Amityville Horror is always down to play, always down to Jay. So it's just great to see him back in the league.
Dr. J, he was on your team last year.
Yeah, he was. He was, actually, he was our leading scorer. Probably the guy who we could count on to get buckets most consistently.
Average 13.
We would have loved to have gotten him back. But I think with Nate Robinson, we had a small guard, so we need to get a little more size with our backcourt.
Mm-hmm. You went with Dave Hawkins with your first pick. Why?
Well, went to Temple, Philly guy, all of the above. I think for us, he showed so well in the camp that even though I would have loved to have kept some continuity in terms of the team that we had last year and just maybe added Amari and Nat and Nate to the four of the guys who we had last year, he just became too much temptation. So in our discussion at the table, we just said, we can't pass on this guy.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. The next pick is already in for the Power. I told you, Nancy was working hard.
And Nancy ain't messing around over there. Everybody else fraternizing, and she picking.
Exactly. Pick is in.
Yeah, somebody doing something they ain't got no business. Yep, that's what that means.
All right, only 3 picks left. So Power, as the third to last pick, picks Ryan Gomes.
Ryan Gomes.
Yeah, that's nice. I like it.
The 17th overall pick, you like it. Why, Kmart?
He's professional, man. He's been around for a while, play hard, solid guy all around. Had a great camp yesterday as well. A lot of people hadn't seen him in a few years. He came in and he played well yesterday.
8 seasons in the NBA, second career. He had 35 points at the Timberwolves in 2008. I've got all the stats you need right here. What really matters is how he's going to perform in this sort of environment. We will expand more upon that pick in just a second. But I'm being told Michael Rappaport just went and got himself some new glasses.
Oh, yeah, I'm wavy. I borrowed this from Deshaun Stevenson. I'm here with Katino Mobley, call him the Silver Fox. Why did you make this pick, Mr. Mobley?
He's trying to stretch the floor. And I think Ryan Gomes can help us because a lot of the teams have a lot of, beefy guys, So I think Ryan Gomes can help us in the post.
Okay.
And in the pick and roll, he can stretch the floor for us.
Okay, keep it a $150 with me. How do you think I look in Deshaun Stevenson's glasses? Do you think I look better than Rick Barry was?
You look amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Carissa, you're next. I'm going to pass these glasses over to
There's
you.
a whole lot of style going on over there.
Absolutely.
Dr. J, you're on the clock right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you got 1 minute and 54 seconds.
I
Should we
gotta
let you go and get
I
to
gotta
work?
get out of here, right?
Okay, we appreciate you.
All right, good being with y'all.
You stopping by. Thank you so much. When you look at this board, you guys, there's only 2 spots left. There's a lot of guys still wanting their names to be called.
Yeah,
It's
interesting. Some guys didn't bother coming to the combine. They got picked. I'm pretty sure that's irritating some of the guys that's in the green room. But guys have guys they probably wanted to play with over years, or guys who represented themselves that they thought fit their team. So that's what they're going with. It's unfortunate that a lot of guys won't get picked this year. But I think they need to stay in shape and be prepared, because you never know, anything could happen.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because some of the learns from last year, right, Cube, is even if these guys didn't get drafted, there's always injuries. There's always spaces that become available. So what is the message to the guys that don't get drafted?
Stay in shape, stay ready. Over 14 guys ended up not getting drafted, but ended up playing,
Last
more
year,
than
14
half the
guys,
season.
okay.
Yeah, so nagging injuries and situations come up. You never know when somebody's going to call your name out the draft pool to come on up, and just be ready. And, we want to expand next year, so there'll be room for more teams, more players, so we can have more of these guys who really want to play in the league in the Big 3. So, like I said, stay in shape, stay ready, stay part of the family.
Absolutely. I covered the NFL, and they always talk about quarterbacks, right? When you got more than one, it's a good problem to have,
Yes.
right? So you want to make sure that you always sort of have that deep bench, if you will. The selection is in. Let's go back to the podium.
With the 5th pick in the 3rd round, the Dr. Julius Ervin and Jermaine O'Neal and company select Bonzi Wells.
B. Wells.
Yes. They keep in continuity.
Those of you that don't know, he was on Dr. J's team last year.
Yes. So, continuity is big. That's why Trilogy is in a great position. Three-Headed Monsters are in a great position. They can play with the guys they played with last year. And it looks like some of the teams are following that lead and trying to get some of the guys they had last year.
Yeah, he's a constant pro. He's going to show up and work hard each and every day. He's a great morale for the guys in the locker room. One of my closest friends. So I'm happy for Buns. I couldn't be more happy for him in this situation.
11 seasons in the league. How important is that experience in something like this?
It's huge. Guy that been around, been in many locker rooms, a lot of stories, a lot of big games he's played in. His experience overall, on the court, in the locker room, just having him around is going to make this team better, because him being around last year with those guys, I think it's going to help.
Ghost Ballers are on the clock. They got just about 2 minutes to decide who they're going to take for the last pick in the 2018 Big 3 draft. Cube, your second year, we've talked about it throughout the last couple hours, about the enthusiasm for this league. It was a vision for you. It's come to fruition. What is it about the Big 3 that's so special, maybe, than some of the other leagues that have been out there?
Well, it's pure entertainment. It's a rolling festival of basketball history. We have, like I said, Hall of Famers, All-Stars, first-round picks, champions, all playing in the same arena. 4 games for the price of 1, so you can't beat it. And it's family-friendly, it's an affordable price. You see more families at our games than you see anywhere. Stars want to come out, people performing. It's just a great time for basketball.
And the list of cities is very impressive, where you guys were headed to this year. What are some of the, I know you're going to be in Chicago, the United Center.
Yes,
right?
United Center, we're going to Dallas again. It was great. Miami, Detroit,
Toronto,
Boston,
right?
Toronto, Oakland.
Dang.
We're going to be all over. Houston, first game in Houston. We're bringing back Clyde Drexler, bringing him home.
I love it.
So it's great.
And end the year in Brooklyn, right?
End the year in Brooklyn with the championship. We started, the Big 3 last year in Brooklyn. 15,000 people. This year, we want to give them a championship.
Well, without further ado, the final selection is in. With the 19th pick, the Ghost Ballers choose.
All right. So for the last pick of the 2018 draft, the Ghost Ballers pick Mario West. Wow.
How relieved is he?
Man, I'm pretty sure he's pretty relieved.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Last one off the board. Yeah, it's a great feeling. Hard work pays off. He put the work in, made a name for himself yesterday. So he's in a great position.
Played 4 seasons in the league. Teammates with Bibby in Atlanta. I don't know if Mike's mic'd up, but I'm sure you can tell us some of the reasons why this guy made it off the board.
Yeah, former teammates. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I think it was a friend pick, but hey, why not? If he can help the situation, hey, I'm all for it.
Good stuff right there. We're going to take a quick break here. We are going to take a look at the final tally, sort of do a quick synopsis when we round out this show. It's been eventful, to say the least. There was only 19 spots available, 91 players available. We will break it all down when we come back right after this. If you happen to miss the early moments of our draft tonight, the top 3 picks came in with a guaranteed A rating. Andre Owens is now a ball hog. Andre Emmett has joined Three's company, and Alan Anderson is now a member of Killer 3. So the Big 3 rosters are set. The teams can start preparing for the season ahead. Fox Sports is your official home for all the action every Friday, beginning on June 22nd in Houston. 3 is your magic number all season long. Welcome back, everybody, to the 2018 Big 3 draft. Is over, you guys.
Hey,
look at that.
Set.
Jeff, Clyde, back with us. I'm going to start with you, Clyde. Now that it's all over, what's your big takeaway from this thing?
Well, the biggest takeaway is if you don't come to the combine where guys can see you, there's a big chance you may not get drafted. So it's important for guys to stay in shape and show up when they should.
Jeff? This was your baby.
That was going to be my biggest takeaway. But competition's gotten really strong, and we're just excited. We're going live this year, and competition's strong. Guys are picking what they need to win, not just big names. They're going for what they need.
What's your motto, Cube?
Hey, it ain't about your name, it's about your game. We all got names, so. And yeah, if you don't show up to the combine, you really, especially not just show up, but get out there and play. You really taking a chance on not being part of a roster. And this is why we want to expand next year to more teams, so guys we can get more guys out there that really want to play.
Some of the other sports that I cover, especially the NFL, you always sort of give a grade to how these teams did in the draft. The NFL draft coming up here shortly, but I want you to give a grade maybe to the best team here and what they did tonight. Who stands out to you? Which roster looks the most well-rounded?
Oh man, Tri-State looks great.
Okay.
I mean, Tri-State seem like they got everything they need, but also you got to look at Three's company. They made some moves that's going to make them formative opponents. So I think everybody stepped there. We're going to have a great season. It's going to be great competition.
Clyde, who stands out to you quickly?
Well, I think the Ball Hogs, they really developed their roster. I mean, they went from being a last place team, now they're a real contender. Andre Owens, Deshaun Stevenson, Corsley Edwards, already with Scalabrini and Josh Childress. Those guys are now contenders.
Jeff? He's looking at the board up there.
I think Ball Hogs did well as well.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate, of course, this was you and Cube's vision. It's been fun to be here. We still got one more thing to wrap up. We got to take a quick break. It says here in the prompter, what does it say, Cube?
Today was a good day.
It would be ridiculous if I said it, since I have him sitting right next to me. As the fresh ink dries on the rosters, the stage is set. It's been an exciting night here from Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles. We got one more segment. You won't want to miss it. Stay with us. What a night it has been here in Los Angeles. Heroes of the hardwood, as far as the eye can see. We've had surprises, we've had special guests, in-depth basketball analysis, and a little bit of trash talking, and a really good time. We've even had some fashion sense from Michael Rappaport. Who knew? Consider this, while these rosters are now set, over 70 deserving players didn't make the final cut tonight. Remember, there was only 19 spots, and there was 91 guys who showed up. So which team will take the sophomore season title? What players could earn themselves another look from the NBA? It is anybody's guess. Alongside the man whose idea this was, it came to fruition. You and Jeff have seen this thing in its entirety as the draft, sort of comes to a close. What's your final thought, Q?
Our teams have gotten better. The league has gotten stronger. And hey, I can't wait till we play basketball on June 22nd in Houston.
Yeah, I agree. Teams got better, try to compete for our title. So we got some work to do. We got to continue to get better as a unit. But I like the draft, man. Teams looked at what they needed in order to compete at a high level, and I think they did a great job moving forward.
Haven't heard from you. We asked some of the other guys, when you take a look now that it's all said and done, whose roster you think, who walks away from this night feeling pretty good about what they were able to do here this evening?
I think every team comfortable with the guys they picked, but if I had to look at one of the teams, I think Three's Company. I think Three's Company had a great draft.
Why?
They went all across the board. They covered areas that they needed to cover, picking Derek Byers, Andre Emmett, getting the big and Jason Maxill. I think they covered the board, everything they needed to do to go out and compete.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ball Hogs picked up some good players, with Andre being number one, Corsley being a good pick. They improved their team. We forgot that last year they started winning games towards the end of the season. I'm excited for season 2. The games are going to be live.
Yes.
Okay, live.
Friday night live.
Friday Night Live. It's going to be Friday basketball, and could be with guys like Kenyon Martin, Steven Jackson, Meta World Peace. Could be Friday night basketball with a little bit of Friday night fights. Hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen.
We're going to keep it clean.
I hope it doesn't happen. I'm just saying.
We're going to keep it clean.
Okay, I'm just saying.
We're going to keep it clean.
I'm just saying, I'm the sideline reporter.
What's yelling about?
I'm just saying, I'm the sideline reporter. I'll
we
mix it
treating
up.
this like a newborn baby, man. Listen, we ain't doing nothing violent, baby.
Steven's saying it ain't gonna happen. You were roaming around here. What was sort of the vibe in this building?
Competitiveness. Everybody takes it totally serious. It's going to be, the season 1 was fantastic. The bumps are going to be even more aggressive season 2. Everybody knows what to expect. Last year we were a little bit like, what's it going to be? Now we know what it's going to be. It's going to be live Friday night. I can't wait.
Your city list, I was looking at this, I said, okay, we need to put, is your passport going to work in Toronto?
I can't talk about that on the air. I'm not going to discuss it on the air. I can't confirm or deny whether or not I'll be able to make it to Toronto, but I'll be trying my very best.
I think the consensus here is, obviously this league is rooted in a good time, but the competitiveness is first and foremost. You guys all want to win. You're all athletes. After what you saw in tonight's draft and you see all these different, lineups, I need a prediction. Down the line quickly, who wins it all this year?
Oh, my God, man, I can't predict. I mean, I know it's going to be great. I think, Trilogy, they have the continuity. But Three-Headed Monsters,
Trilogy.
It was this close. So
It's going to be good either way.
Trilogy.
Rappaport, K, Mark, Cube, appreciate it. Jeff, who's back there somewhere, Clyde, and everybody else, thank you for watching the Big 3 2018 draft. See you
Trilogy.
Live.